Alright, lazy bones, it's time to get moving.
Ah, man.
Do we have to?
Aww.
Come on, guys. It'll be fun.
Did somebody say, get moving?
Are you going to teach us about exercise?
What? No! It's time to learn about animation.
I'm still not used to that.
Animation has a long and storied history. Early on, people realized that images moving quickly created illusions. This bird in a cage illusion, also known as a thaumatrope, is one of the oldest applications of this illusion.
Ooh.
It's not quite animation, but it's close. Discs like this get closer.
Is that a DVD?
Not quite. It's a phenakistoscope. When the disc is spun, the figures appear to move, or animate. The word phenakistoscope first appears around 1833, so these are probably one of the first forms of animation as we know it.
What about flip books?
Excellent question. Flip books are a common form of animation. They can be long enough to begin to tell a story, but the way we think of animation today really starts with film. The first film, or motion picture camera, was made in 1888 by Louis Le Prince. And by the 1900s, people were creating short animated films. Most were made with simple line drawings, with each frame captured on camera and strung together to create the illusion of movement. It didn't take long for charming characters to take the silver screen, including Gertie the dinosaur, Felix the cat, and, well, Mickey Mouse.
I've heard of Mickey.
Good catch, Ducky! The next big step in animation was the first animated feature. Coming in at 66 minutes, The Adventures of Prince Ahmed, made by Locke Reiniger in 1926, is the oldest surviving animated film. An artist working out of Berlin, Reiniger created her animations by moving paper cutouts, frame by frame. Her intricate artistry is breathtaking, but her work has also been largely forgotten.
What? Why?
Well, there could be a lot of reasons. A fair amount of her life was consumed by the world wars. And until recently, there was just less focus on women's accomplishments in general when it came to popular history. Like a lot of early filmmakers, a fair amount of her work is lost, but her influence lives on, both through her aesthetics and cutout animation more generally. Another popular use of cutout animation was Monty Python's Flying Circus. Mind the foot.
The foot? Ah!
Reninger was also a pioneer of the multiplane camera, a mechanism used frequently by the animators at Disney. A multiplane camera creates more depth of field in animation by layering images on top of each other, layer by layer. For Reninger, paper cutouts were layered above a light. At Disney, painted backgrounds and foreground elements were layered with animation cells. These setups also meant that animated tracking shots could be made in a new and more convenient way by allowing the animators to move the backdrop independently from the animation. Many original multiplane setups were much larger, of course, with one of Disney's standing at 11 feet tall.
11 feet?
That's 33 hands! But Disney is far from the only animation studio. Warner Brothers and DreamWorks have long been the competitors of Disney's in the United States. But animation is international. Other major studios include Studio Ghibli in Japan, Les Amateurs in France, Triggerfish in South Africa, and so many more. However, most studios these days use computers to animate. not multiplane rigs and cells. In many cases, animation has become the realm of CGI, or computer-generated imagery. The first full-length computer-animated film was Toy Story in 1995, and since then, CGI has overtaken the industry. Even those films that still look like traditional animation are drawn and inked on computers, and most films are made with computer models instead. This allows for new and different stylistic choices, and leads us into new creative directions all the time. But this still doesn't even begin to cover all the bases. There's also the entire realm of stop-motion animation. Stop motion is made by moving a three-dimensional figure a little bit each frame. Like with hand-drawn animation, when the frames are all played together, it creates movement. A common form of stop motion is claymation, where the figures are made out of a soft clay, like plasticine. This allows for especially stretchy and expressive characters. But that doesn't mean that other animated figures aren't impressive. Many productions use a variety of mouths or a series of sculpted or 3D printed faces to show amazing emotion. Stop motion is time-consuming and expensive compared to CG, but that doesn't mean it isn't made. Right now, Leica Studios in Oregon is at the forefront of stop motion, and Aardman, a British studio, has long been the face of claymation.
Wait, so do we use stop motion?
Bingo! Give the kid a prize! Our motion is created by frame-by-frame movement, and frame rate can change the speed and fluidity of motion. From 15 frames per second to 24 frames per second to 30 frames per second, though most animation is 24 frames per second.
Well, let's get moving then.
About that. I'm gonna level with you guys, animation takes so much work. Wouldn't you rather just, watch TV?
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.